You are now ready to apply the finish coat. You'll want to pick the best time to apply the finish coat. Do not paint in direct sunlight or in the evening, as condensation can cause a loss of gloss overnight. The best time to apply it is in the morning after the dew has left the surface. Avoid painting outside in windy conditions. This will make the solvent evaporate too quickly and can blow dust and debris into the wet paint. Start by putting on your eye protection, gloves, the appropriate mask and coveralls. Clean brush and roller prior to mixing. Stir the contents of each component. The components must be mixed in the ratio of 2 volumes of base to 1 volume of curing agent, so measure out appropriate volumes by pouring them into a separate container. Stir them thoroughly together and then leave for 20 minutes to allow bubbles to disperse. Make sure you have some Interlux brushing reducer 2333N in hand, in case the mix needs to be thinned slightly and for cleaning up spills. Only add Interlux brushing thinner 2333N to the paint if the ambient temperature is high and the brush feels like it's dragging on the surface. Add a maximum of 10% thinner by volume, no more. Start by rolling an even coat in the same way as you applied the undercoat or primer, but choose a smaller section so that the leading edge is still wet when you paint the next section. Then lightly tip off the entire surface of the section vertically with the brush. This method works particularly well when 2 painters work side by side, one with a roller and one tipping off with a brush. Hold the brush at an angle of 45 degrees to the surface, as this minimizes brush marks. For areas that are to be painted by brush only, application involves 3 simple steps to get the best possible finish. Step 1. Brush apply in diagonal strokes from the left and right. Step 2. Spread the paint further using horizontal strokes. Step 3. Tip off the surface with light brush strokes vertically down from the top and upwards from the bottom. This results in any brush marks and bubbles flowing out and gives a super smooth, glossy finish. Depending on color and thickness of coats, a third coat may be necessary. Be sure to change the brushes and rollers regularly to get the best possible finish. When you have finished the first coat, leave it to dry overnight. Consult the product label for the minimum overcoating time, as these are temperature dependent. When it is ready to overcoat, remove any imperfections like sags or dirt using 320 to 400 grit sandpaper. Then lightly sand the entire surface with the 400 grit sandpaper. Remove all traces of dust with a solvent wipe down of Interlux brushing reducer 2333N. Apply the second and final coat in exactly the same way as the first. Stir the components thoroughly. Measure out and mix the components. Leave it to stand for 20 minutes. Roll and brush apply an even coat and carefully tip off the surface on the way. The application is now complete, and there are just a couple of things you need to do to finish with perfection. When the paint has dried to a hard finish, remove the masking tape with care so as not to pull off paint accidentally. Put back the deck hardware through hull fittings and any vinyl lettering that were removed. The finished result is absolutely stunning. It looks as though it was painted by a professional applicator. So sit back and watch the admiring glances. Now you can go and spend more time enjoying your boat. Perfection.